So I remember way back when we built an early fitness app in the App Store, there were limitations on the device itself. The GPS wasn't as accurate as the standalone devices. The battery life wasn't as long. You couldn't run apps in the background, meaning you couldn't listen to music and also go on your run, which many people love to do. But then over time, the GPS got better, the battery life got longer, apps could run in the background. Some of the running apps would actually bake music right into the app itself so that you didn't need to leave the app to listen to music anyways, although you could if you wanted to. Ha, ha, Using that same analogy, where are we today with this? And then what are the gotchas that you see getting ironed out over time?
I think it's like the internet, we're in the earliest stages. That's how I put it. I think a lot of stuff that, you can't do today. Frankly, you couldn't even do it like 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago. And so the speed at which these tools is evolving is just unbelievably fast. And I don't think it's going to slow anytime soon, especially because the compute layer expands, the infrastructure layer keeps expanding, which means anyone who's building applications on top of all of it, which is what we were doing when the App Store came along. There was an iPhone, it had an install base, you had the App Store infrastructure itself, they provided you with libraries, and then you were building apps on top of it. And apps became the biggest part of that economy, right? They still captured most. So we're still in the infrastructure phase. So if you had to compare it to the internet for AI in general, I think it's hard to tell where it's going to go, but one concern people have is, will AI replace human beings? Right? I don't, I'm in video production, will I no longer be needed? And the way I've thought about it is, the reason Charles and I got into the business is because we don't think human beings should be excluded from the creative process. We think human beings, just like people who create art, art is always, revolutionary or a counter to the status quo. So people naturally want to create stuff and communicate that and share that with other people. The goal is to expand the envelope of more people being able to do that. And I think that's a good focus for AI. I do think with AI, things that were hard to do before will become easier going forward. So if you weren't, an artist before, a digital artist, and didn't know how to shade monsters and stuff like that, that stuff is going to get easier. Some of the production tasks are going to get easier with AI. And I will say they've always been getting easier. So this is not like something new. Before, people used to, the old Disney movies, you hand sketch those things, and now you do it digitally. And now AI is going to take it to the next level in terms of what it can do. But that human creativity element is still going to remain. And I do think whatever, no matter what country you look at, no matter what culture you look at, software enabling more creative people, I actually think could save the business instead of the concerns people have. The business is already in trouble, has been in for 5 years, right? Film and games and agencies, like everyone's worried about, oh my God, what's AI going to do to it? But the business has been in trouble even before AI arrived. So hopefully what this is it takes us back to a time when these businesses were growth businesses. Creative people could be creative and they could take their content directly, without middlemen, to audiences and find niche audiences that love their product, or mass market audiences. And I think, my hope for AI is not that it replaces people, but it allows more creative people to express themselves. And just like Hollywood had like this era where Scorsese came in and, and Spielberg came in, and it had kind of petered out, it would kind of become a generic formulaic type of thing. It feels like we're at that moment where it feels like nothing creative can be done. And hopefully new tools surface a new group of people who bring us these amazing things from their minds, and the tools are just enabling them.